Hi, I'm Kev and welcome to this week's Draw Along. This week, the boys on the Nerdhead Comic Book Club reviewed Blackest Night, a DC Comics crossover series which involves the Green Lantern Corps. So, to tie in this week's Draw Along with the Comic Book Club, we will be drawing the Green Lantern, more specifically Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Okay, let's begin. So, as usual, start with our blue line. Again, I kind of worked this out as I went along drawing this image. So in the little bottom corner, I've got this stick figure for you to follow. Anyway, so there's a lot of foreshortening in this drawing. Foreshortening, as you know, is kind of, I say as you know, if you've seen other videos of mine, and if you've done any like drawing studying before, you might be familiar with this term. But foreshortening is when something's kind of coming at you out the screen. So we use foreshortening for the fist here. So we can see that his fist is obscuring most of his arm. And I'm going to put a thing up on the screen now, just so you can see how we foreshorten the arm. So foreshortening gives the illusion that something is closer to our line of vision and something is further away in a drawing. You can use this with cities and streets as well, and that goes into perspective drawing. So as you can see, I bulked out the figure, and again, like I said, a lot of foreshortening. So not only have we got the fist coming at us, we've got the leg and the torso kind of going away, kind of like a triangle shape. So yeah, I'm just gonna draw Green Lantern now. So originally when I drew this, I kind of worked from a photo, but I found it real hard to work from the photo. So sometimes reference drawing makes things harder. So I just used, I relaxed a bit more and just drew from kind of my head instead, and ended up coming out better. So I attempted this video several times before I got a Green Lantern pose that I liked. So here as well, when I was drawing the chest symbol, I realised that the bottom half of the chest symbol would be obscured once we get to the inking stage, because his belly is going to be in shadow. And the light source, of course, is the ring for Green Lantern. So the shadow is going to be on the left side. And I like this pose as well, it's quite a dynamic pose. Very kind of Jack Kirby-esque. So yeah, onto inking, and yeah, I was just gonna just make sure everything is in the right place. So I'm not too familiar with Green Lantern as well. I'm not a huge DC fan really. I know of Green Lantern, but yeah, I think this is one of the first times I've ever drew him properly. But there are versions of him. I really like Darwin Cook's New Frontier. The way Darwin Cook draws Green Lantern, I think is I really enjoy that. So go check out New Frontier by Darwin Cook. Again, the good thing about working in something like Procreate, which I would work in, and like Photoshop or anything, if you draw in circles, you can snap or the ellipse, you can snap it to be the correct shape. It's a little harder drawing it freehand. If you draw in freehand, you can get these ellipse tools. Not freehand, sorry. Traditionally, you can get these ellipse tools, and they're good for drawing circles as well, and ellipses. Ellipses. So for this one, I didn't. There's a little bit of cross hatching, not too much cross hatching. Kind of more thick black shadows. So drawing this leg was a bit annoying. I couldn't seem to get it right. I came back to it, and then I liked that shape, and I thought, okay, there we go. It looks weird when you draw stuff like this with the foreshortening. It looks like, yeah, they got one massive leg and then a little baby, deformed baby leg dangling in the wind. You just got to kind of trust that it looks okay. If not, again, obscure it. You could have that, so instead of seeing the calf bone, we could have his leg kind of cocked up so you could see his knee bent, so you could just see like the thigh shape instead, kind of like on the front leg. But it loses some of the dynamism. So onto the colouring. I've already done the flats, and I'm just going to shade as well. So when I was doing the shading as well, I experimented with some blending. I've deleted it because there was a few I should have kept it in actually. I cut out the video, but there was a few bits of me experimenting. Do I want to blend this? Do I want to kind of keep it kind of cartoony looking? And in the end, I kind of went with the cartooniness. There's a bit of blending when I go in and add the light layer. So just putting those shadows in where there's no light, and where there's like concaves in the skin, so with the brow, where his brow is furrowed. Just giving a bit of shadow on the hand as well. I was debating not, but I thought it looked too flat if I didn't add any shadows in. So originally I added some green to the eyes, but I think I got rid of that by the end. And then there's going to be a bit of green glow here. This is kind of the only bit where I kind of smudge, blend that into the glove. And then I go and create my add layer. And so this is for my lighting source. So create a new layer, create add, clipping mask it to your colors. And then you go in, just put in where you want to add that light. Change it up a bit, so I had a green colour, but I need to make it a bit lighter because on the actual green of his costume it doesn't really pop. Then I add a Gaussian blur to it, and that kind of gives this kind of glowing effect. Then lastly I went in and played around with the luminance brushes. Messed up, I did it on the wrong layer there, and originally I was going to use that glare one, but then I decided to go with just the luminance brush to add like a glowing effect. And again, I did a bit of experimenting. I tried it on his chest symbol, weren't overly keen on it, so I just added it to the glove in the end. And there we go, that's Green Lantern for you. So this pose was quite fun to draw. I really enjoyed the pose once I got it. Like I said earlier in the video, it took me a while to kind of figure out how to draw this pose. Again, I was working from reference material. I took a photo of myself doing this pose. I just couldn't get it right. In the end, I just sort of used kind of feelings to work out how to draw this image. If you have drawn along though, please send your drawings to me at KevsDrawAlong on Instagram. Also, if you have liked this video, please leave a like or a comment, and also please check out other videos on the Nerd Herd channel. I think if you're watching this straight away, we've got the Dawn of Comics quiz night coming up right after this as well. Also, feel free to check out other videos on Kev's Draw Along playlist. I did a crime noir one, a crime noir comic strip thing that I'm really proud of, which I'd released last week, so go back and check that. Yeah, that's everything for now, and until next time, keep drawing. Bye bye.